Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. So as promised, I will go over my week 1 of the Incursion League, and yes, I know it's like 2 or 3 days too late to do that, but in the end, you know, while streaming like 15 hours a day, it's kind of hard to bring good content for YouTube. But today I will just stream later and try to get this video online. So we want to go over through like what strategy did I had, you know, what build did I pick and why did I pick it, and how was the gear progression all over the leveling through the first maps, and how did I make some currency, and yeah, until I got Shaper down, you know? So I think we're gonna start right away. So yeah, my strategy itself was actually pretty easy. I just wanted to progress through the Atlas as fast as possible to sell all the high tier and Guardian maps and be one of the first ones who can actually sell Shaper sets and stuff. The reason behind it is like, if you are one of the first persons who can actually sell these kind of stuff that nobody else has access to and everybody wants to clear the Atlas, you know, they're going to buy maps. Like if I said, if you're the one of the first ones, you can set the price whatever you like, you know, people will buy it. It is true. Yeah, that was actually my strategy. So for the build choice, I wasn't even sure what to play like 3 hours before the start. Every guide got me so hyped and I was like, I'm going to play this build for sure. I mean, this is awesome, you know. Then I just made the new build guide and was like, oh god, this is the one I want to play. And this is like every time it happened to me. And I wasn't even sure like 2 hours before league start what I'm going to play. But in the end, since I made up my strategy, I was sure that I was going to play something tanky. And the undeniable Juggernaut seemed very, very strong. One of these high tanks, you know, you don't want to have like squishy builds for mapping and so on if you want to progress into high tier pretty fast. So that's why I picked my choice for the Juggernaut, the undeniable Juggernaut, the Molten Striker. Yeah, let's just play Sunder and pick the skill tree of the undeniable. I mean, that sounds a little bit stupid, but you know, if you don't have currency to respec, you gotta do something. And leveling as Molten Strike is not that great, I have to say, not in the start. But before that, so we all had that problem. You know, it was 22 o'clock, it was 10 PM in the evening, the servers should be up, you want to start, you're so hyped, you know, you have your plan in your inner mind, you know, and you're like, okay, like, log in. 2000 Q, nice. We're gonna wait. Like 10 minutes later, 3, 2, 1, disconnect. Yeah, great. Okay, log in again. 30,000 Q. Great. Let's just wait. Let's grab a coffee. Let's grab some food, you know, like sit here. Yeah, the queue was going down and down and down and down and down. Then it was like 3, 2, 1, disconnect. Great. Log in again. 100,000 Q. Really? So I was waiting like like every other guy, like, I don't know, like an hour till we got in. And I was like, either you play the whole night and get to like Act 7, Act 8 or something, or you just, you know, finish the first 2 acts, go to bed, and yeah, start the whole Saturday well rested in the morning and play the whole day, and that's what I did. So yeah, here we are, day 2, Saturday morning, waking up, grabbing a coffee, and start to quest. I took the skill tree of the Molten Strike and still played as a physical Sunder Juggernaut. And that was the point where I said like, yeah, let's just replay Sunder with Molten Strike and see how it goes. And the damage was like 10 times better than Sunder, so I was just staying with it. I was slow, I was terribly slow, like 8 hours or something to clear the whole quest line, but I'm just a type of player that needs to have all the waypoints done, you know, all the side quests, the main quests, the pantheons. You just want to have everything done before going into mapping. So yeah, I was just progressing, killing Kitaver, and yeah, I was like sitting in my hideout, got the first map from Sana, and I thought like, let's do it. Failed miserably, I died all the time. While leveling I made like, I don't know, like 7 or 8 chaos, so I was buying some gear first, because you just don't want to map if you don't have your resistance cap. So I was just picking up all those rare items with triple resistance like boots, you know, and just try to get as maximum life as possible, because if you don't survive, you can do the best damage, it wouldn't matter. So that's why I prioritized the survivability over the damage. So I was pretty slow at mapping, I would say, but I could survive it. The build is based on life on hit, you know, so I had some life regeneration and a ton of pots to make it even happen to go through tier 1. But at some point I was just like, I need some life on hit, and Chief's Torment is the best option to do that for a budget. But in the start they were like 15 chaos or 16 chaos or something, so it was kinda hard. So I was farming all those tier 1 and tier 2 maps just to get some currency in, you know, picking up all those 6 socket items that on the floor, selling those jeweler orbs back to chaos orbs, and just try to afford the Chief's Torment. So here we are, Incursion League day 3, and yeah, Sunday morning, waking up, grabbing a coffee, started to mapping. And that's what I did the whole day. So the good thing was, we were playing together, like me and Gornot, the writer of the Undeniable Juggernaut, which was actually pretty good because I haven't played the Undeniable Juggernaut before, and all questions I had I could just ask him on Discord. If you start somewhere, let's say you start on the top right side, you're just going to have all those maps over here, you know, but you actually want to have these ones, and these ones as well. So if you're starting on the top right and your friend is going to start on the bottom left, you know, you can just progress the Atlas from one side and the other side. At one point I was finally affording the Chief's Torment, and this was like so huge for me because I just didn't die anymore, so I could level finally, because if you die all the time, you know, you just have a hard time getting experience going. The whole day we were just farming and farming and farming and trying to get some kind of currency, but we weren't actually lucky because, you know, sometimes you just find an item, you can sell it for like 30 or 40 chaos, you know, it just didn't happen for us. I mean, on day 3 I found an Exalted Orb, which was pretty good, but back in that time it was like 50 Chaos Orb something, or 40 even, so I just sold it for the 40 Chaos and tried to get some more gear going. So here we are, day 4 in the Incursion League. It was Monday morning, and I was sitting with Gorno in the Discord, and we were talking about setting ourselves some goals. And you know, day 1 and 2 you're just questing, you know, day 3 was the first mapping day, but today we are able to do maps, and we just want to finish all low tier maps, means every tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, 4, 5, so we can start to go into the mid tier maps. And sadly we really tried to snipe some items on the auction house and try to resell it for more to just generate somehow more currency to get our builds going. But the player base at the moment is extremely high, and like 2 or 3 times more than it was in Best Tier League, and this is pretty awesome actually. But for item snipers it's a nightmare, because if there is like a really good item and you know it's worth like an Exalt, and somebody put it in for like 5 chaos, you know, you gotta just buy it and sell it and make some free money, you know. But the item was online for like not even 10 seconds, and probably like 50 or 60 people already wrote this guy, so for item snipers it's a nightmare. Yeah, we just couldn't get our hands on some good trades, and we just couldn't generate currency, and it was terrible. So we just stick to our plan and like map all day and try to farm and generate currency from mapping. And this day I actually could afford a Grellwood Shank, which is actually a mandatory item for my build, because it enables you to have like armor reflexes and point blank, which is a massive DPS boost. And since I didn't have it in the start, I was actually skilling into point blank. So once I could get this item, I could take out some points and get more life into it. At that point, when I afforded the Grellwood Shank and the Lionized Remorse, the shield, which gives me a ton of life and armor, it felt so freaking easy to progress into maps. The build was doing so a massive amount of damage, I was tanky, I just need the maps and I can just run it, you know, up to high tier. So day 5 wasn't actually too special, I have to say. We were just mapping all day long, so we knew that we cleared all low tier maps on day 4, and on day 5 we just want to clear all mid tier maps. So the problem with the maps is, if the maps doesn't drop, you know, you will have a pretty hard time to progress. So you do the same map over and over again. That's why it's important to do your daily quests, like especially Sana, because she will most likely sell maps to you that you haven't unlocked on the Atlas yet. So if you have 2 players trading those maps, and also 2 players that have completed Sana and she will sell you maps, you know, at the end of the day you will probably have like 80 or 90% of the maps done. Buy the rest of the maps, so we get the 100% of the mid-tier maps going, so we can finally start to progress into high-tier maps, because we only have 2 days left. So here we are, day 6 in the Incursion League. We knew we finished all the low-tier maps, we finished all the mid-tier maps, we were somewhere at level 90 or something. So we started to progress ourselves into high-tier maps. So we cleared all like tier 11 and tier 12, but we had a hard time getting all those higher maps like 14 and 15. So we decided to buy a lot of unique maps, because there are like 20 or 25 unique maps that boost our Atlas quite well. And once we have done that, we started to find some tier 14 and 15 maps, and also some Guardian maps. I was trying to get myself a low weave armor, because this will boost my survivability quite a lot. If you can achieve like 80 all resists, that's pretty huge. We just kept the rings that we found while mapping, and the rest, like 55 rings I had to buy on the market. So yeah, have fun with that. Like 1 chaos each ring, there's probably like 30, 40, 50 or even more people trying to do the same as you do. So you just spam the market and try to get all those rings done. It was such a pain to get it. So we are at day 7, which is actually Friday, like 1 week after the Incursion League release. And we knew we had some stuff to do. We were missing like 10 maps or so on the Atlas, and there's also some unique maps that give us a hard time because the Perendus Manor is very, very expensive. And the Hall of Grandmasters is very hard to do. We have the Guardians to do and Shaper. So basically we were just trying to get our high tier maps done. So at one point we just bought the rest that we were actually missing. Then I was progressing into the Guardians. I didn't care about the experience. I was just like, if I just get it down in the 6 portals, I'm pretty much fine. Because all the other Guardian maps that I already unlocked on the Atlas, I just sold it for like 30 KRs each. So at that point all the Guardians were done. So there's actually Shaper missing, Hall of Grandmasters and the Perendus Manor. Luckily I was just going for the Incursion Temple. At one room I was just dropping a unique map and all of a sudden it was the Perendus Manor that was like 2x on that point. We had everything done except 2 maps. The Hall of Grandmasters and Shaper itself. I was still running a 5 link. You could survive it, but the damage output was like pretty bad. I was getting myself into the Hall of Grandmasters. So the first try was actually terrible. I died on the first wing 6 times and I was like, yeah, okay, let's buy another map and try it again. All the guys on the live stream helped me to actually understand on what's important in this map, what I have to do and how to kill all those mobs that actually killed me all the time. Map 2, clear. So yeah, after finishing the Hall of Grandmasters, we actually were sitting at 157 of 158 on the Atlas. So it was Friday evening, I had like 2 or 3 hours left and I was like, yeah, we need to get this Shaper down. As you maybe watched my most intense Shaper kill ever, you see that I had like spawned 20 orbs or 30 orbs, something. And it was very rough, but in the end I've managed to do it. I was just like happy to have it done. So yeah, this pretty much sums up our week 1 journey, or better said adventure of the Incursion League. On day 8 I already cleared the Elder Guardians and also the red tier Elder. At the moment I'm just trying to generate as much currency as possible. I'm farming tier 15 maps all day long. I sell all the Guardian maps. I got Zana at level 7, that means I unlocked the Abyss mod. So all those jewels I get, they are actually the best crafting base in general, so you can sell them for like 20 or 30 chaos at the moment. But I started to craft a lot and yeah, I probably got myself like 15 exalts already with crafting those jewels. Stuff is going pretty well. At the moment I'm trying to get my Law Weave 6 linked. I wasn't that lucky, I already throw like 1000 fusings into it, but yeah, what do you want to do if you're not lucky, you know? And yeah, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, see you on the next video.